knowing, held in the waiting of winter, where we know all plans and predictions are partial, and where we learn to pivot as a spiritual practice. For us, gathering like this, for this hour, it is a way to mark time, to know ourselves here and now, straddling worlds, maybe for our whole lives. Here we revel in curiosity and let the learning wash over us. Here we refuse to be seduced by certainty. Here we praise the mystery. Here we give thanks for all that remains hidden. In this liminal time, all that grows beneath the earth and behind the stars, beyond our view, beyond our lifetime, let us know ourselves as sowers of seeds, tenders of possibility, called to presence and partnership beyond our imaginations. With this flame we light this morning, we remember our promise to stay in relationship, to repair what has been broken, to do more than just survive, to insist on joy, and to lead in love.
Spirit, draw near.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada, where it is our mission to grow in love, faith, justice, and joy. My name is Gaia Brown. I'm honored to be your worship associate this morning. My pronouns are she, her. And a special welcome to newcomers who might be here today. We are glad you decided to join with us, and we will do our best to greet you in the next few minutes. Whomever you love, whatever your circumstances or beliefs, you are welcome in this community. If you did not have the opportunity to give us your contact information at the welcome table, please fill out the form that's in the seat pocket in front of you. It might be white, it might be yellow. Then we can send you our weekly email that will keep you up to date with all the happenings of the fellowship. And also in their seat pockets are forms that anyone with a joy or concern to be shared with our congregation today should fill out and give to Reverend Kristen or to me during our time of greeting. And I have been asked to warn people, particularly newer people, if you hear a buzz, it's the wind. It's somewhat discomforting to people who wonder what's happening. It's the power of the wind. And folks on Zoom, you probably won't hear that, but we're glad to have you here. Many of you on Zoom are very much old timers, and we're happy to have you virtually in our presence. We acknowledge that we are the uninvited guests meeting on the traditional homelands of the Washoe, Northern Paiute, Western Shoshone, and Southern Paiute people of the Great Basin, This includes 28 tribal nations that exist as sovereign nations and continue the stewardship of this land. We appreciate the opportunity to live and worship on these indigenous grounds. And now it's time to greet each other in whatever way is comfortable for you, and I'll call you back with a singing bowl.
Perhaps for a moment, the typewriters will stop clicking, the wheels stop rolling, the computers desist from computing, and a hush will fall over the city. For an instant in the stillness, the chiming of the celestial spheres will be heard as Earth hangs poised in the crystalline darkness, and then gracefully tilts. Let there be a season when holiness is heard, and the splendor of living is revealed. Stunned to stillness by beauty, we remember who we are and why we are here. There are inexplicable mysteries. We are not alone. In the universe there moves a wild one whose gestures alter Earth's axis toward love. In the immense darkness, everything spins with joy. The cosmos enfolds us. We are caught in a web of stars, cradled in a swaying embrace, rocked by the holy night, babes of the universe. Let this be the time we wake to life, like spring wakes in the moment of winter solstice.
These words of wisdom come from David White. When your eyes are tired, the world is tired also. When your vision has gone, no part of the world can find you. Time to go into the dark, where the night has eyes to recognize its own. There you can be sure that you are not beyond love. The dark will be your home tonight. The night will give you a horizon further than you can see. You must learn one thing. The world was made to be free in. Give up all other worlds except the one in which you belong. Sometimes it takes darkness and the sweet confinement of your aloneness to learn anything or anyone that does not bring you alive is too small for you.
Every once in a while, it feels important, especially in times when things are particularly trying as they are, to remind ourselves of just how small we are in the grand scheme of things. Perhaps over these days, you have been rushing around shopping for holidays, planning for visiting friends or family, managing work and parenting or caregiving a loved one. Or perhaps you're just distressed at the state of the world. And you just need a reminder of how much more there is beyond each one of us individually. And this time of year is a perfect time to zoom out and to bask in the amazing and sometimes almost mind-boggling reality that right now we are riding along on a spinning planet circling a mighty sun. I mean, really. Surely the to-do lists are important, but really. And this time of year is particularly perfect to remember this awe-inspiring reality because we can feel our connection to the sun in tangible ways. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, as the Earth continues its rotation, we tilt further and further away from our sun, and we can actually see and feel the impact of the tilt as the amount of light and dark in each 24 hours shifts. And so in many cultures and traditions, this is the time of year when we are invited to pause and honor the darkness. In Latin, the roots of the word solstice evoke the stilling of the sun. Theologian and author Tricia Hersey began a movement she called the nap ministry. We've probably talked about it here because I just love it, the nap ministry. As she says, in a culture where our value is judged on how much we produce or buy, rest is ironically a form of activism. For some of you, your presence here on Sunday morning is the one time in your week when you give yourself permission to rest. The nap ministry wisdom reminds us that rest is not about sleeping necessarily. As Tricia Hersey says, it's not about fluffy pillows or expensive sheets or silk sleep masks or any other external, frivolous, consumerist gimmick. It is about challenging the grind culture, finding time for going inward and for resisting false urgency. Rest is about going deep and reflecting. It's about deliberately slowing down. And I know that even those of you who are retired can feel the pull towards the grind. During this time of year, the universe itself compels us towards the wisdom of darkness. Those who practice mindfulness and meditation know that there is sometimes a magic that occurs when we take the intentional time to pause. And the solstice invites us to trust that there is a wisdom in the hibernation. And so today we honor the gift of darkness, a fertile, nutrient-rich place where we can notice the things we don't see when it's light. The starlight, the shadow world, the way our senses sharpen when we can't rely solely on our eyesight. As we honor the winter solstice today, we will be building a chalice for each of you to take home. A chalice committed to the wisdom and rebellion of deliberately slowing down. But before we begin creating our chalices, I want to invite you to just pause and for us to take a moment of stillness. I invite you to soak in the wisdom of darkness and to give yourself permission to notice what can only be understood when we slow down. And so in this moment of stillness that we're going to take, I invite you to reflect on what wisdom the darkness, these shorter days, might hold for you. The first thing that's going to go into our chalices that we'll build this morning is dark soil. Soak it in, y'all. For those online, if you can't hear, it is really a swarm of bees right now. The first thing that's going to go into our chalices that we'll create this morning is dark soil. The richness of the earth, a place of nutrients, nourishment, possibility, and life. If you are online this morning, I'm going to invite you to find a way to connect with dirt. This might mean bringing a plant near your computer or walking outside while we do this ritual and collecting or just connecting with a bit of soil. And those of you here in the room, you are going to be invited to come forward to each of our solstice stations. You can just find one. They each have the same tools and supplies. And you're going to be invited to take a votive cup and to place soil into the glass. And I would say about halfway full. This dark soil is going to represent the nutrient-rich place of darkness. And it is an invitation for you to revel in the stillness and time of reflection. So when we get up, if you don't feel like getting up or you have trouble and you just raise your hand, we will bring a chalice votive to you and the soil to you. So just raise your hand if you can't come forward. And I'm going to invite you to hold some silence and stillness and reverence as we do this so that you can really hold on to that vision that you are trying to plant, this nutrient-rich soil and the wisdom of the darkness. So I invite you to come forward now in stillness, in reverence, to one of our 3 stations and take a glass votive and fill it about halfway with soil.
These words of wisdom were written by Joyce Rupp. This year, I do not want the dark to leave me. I need its wrap of silent stillness, its cloak of long-lasting embrace. Too much light has pulled me away from the chamber of gestation. Let the dawns come late. Let the sunsets arrive early. Let the evenings extend themselves while I lean into the abyss of my being. Let me lie in the cave of my soul, for too much light blinds me, steals the source of revelation. Let me seek solace in the empty places of winter's passage, those vast dark nights that never fail to shelter me.
It is in our sleep that our brain makes sense of our experiences, rewires our understanding of the world, heals our bodies. Rather than a deficit, our commitment to stillness and darkness is like a superpower that allows our bodies and hearts and souls and brains to make sense of the world in new ways. And we trust that in making space for sitting in the darkness, new wisdom will emerge. Possibly there are pieces of ourselves, of yourselves, that need to hibernate or compost or be broken down. And hopefully that stillness allows that to happen. There may be parts of you that are yearning to be let go or simply used in new ways. Or perhaps you are looking for new ways of understanding the world. Perhaps you are waiting for the newness to emerge and reveal itself when you take the time to listen. So I invite you into another moment of stillness. This time listening for the wisdom of our wintering. And in this stillness, is there something inside you that has been waiting to be noticed? Take a moment. We're going to distribute small pieces of paper, and there are pencils in the back of your chair. And if you're online, please find something to write on and with. And you are going to write a word or a phrase that holds the essence of whatever came to you in that stillness. And if it feels nebulous or uncertain, that's okay. That is also wisdom. And once you have finished, you are going to roll up or fold up your paper until it is as small as you can make it. And you're going to push it into the dirt in your chalice. So we will pass out paper now. What is the wisdom of your darkness? The wisdom of your wintering? What is longing to be noticed? As you hold your chalice in your hands, I invite you to soften your gaze, perhaps giving attention to the dark dirt within the glass, giving attention to the essence of wisdom of your wintering. And we're going to take this opportunity to bless this dirt and our commitment to the darkness with these words of meditation by Sherry Woodbury. Imagine your body and mind are filled with darkness and stillness, like the deep, dark night in a wilderness. Take comfort in the stillness, the restfulness of this space within you. Don't try to make anything happen. Just rest into this inner darkness, knowing that you are safe in this moment and you can simply be. In the quiet corners within, let us sense the healing powers of the body, the amazing ability of our body to restore damaged cells, to create new healthy cells, to bring balance to systems that have gotten out of whack. Let us acknowledge too the creative powers of our minds and hearts. From the mysterious inner regions comes all poetry, all music. From the inner dark emerges all sculpture and dance, all the art and cultures that are the heritages of humanity. Even consciousness itself, the great unsolved mystery of science, resides in the deep unknown of ourselves. May we offer humility and awe and gratitude for all the powers of the darkness within ourselves. Spirit of life, may we honor the darkness as much as the light. May we make space for the inner knowing of our loving selves to find the nurture and warmth of fertile soil. In this space of stillness, we picture those people and places who could use our care and attention, loved ones who might need our support and care. And I invite you to say those names out loud into this space or into the chat if you are online so that we may hold them collectively. And it's okay if you talk over each other, just share out the places, the people, the names that should be spoken into this space. And I add into this space Diana Rogan, whose brother was just recently diagnosed with cancer. For all those named aloud and held in our hearts, we offer our prayers of love and connection. May all be held, may all be well, may all be whole. Amen.
During this season of generosity, it is now our opportunity to generously support this fellowship, grateful for the support it gives us. We also have the opportunity to share half the proceeds of our plate collection with a local nonprofit. This month's Share the Plate recipient is Our Center, which is dedicated to creating and supporting inclusive programs for the entire LGBTQ+ community. This includes offering support groups for youth and adult trans members, community groups for seniors, and prevention-focused initiatives. Instructions for giving Instructions for giving, both in person and on Zoom, are on the screen or will be on the screen. Will the ushers please come forward? Now, would you please join Diana and me in blessing these offerings? Work of this fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, faith, justice, and joy. Dedicate ourselves and these our offerings. Now I'd like to call attention to any of the announcements that are in your order of service. Please take a look at them. And also, if you are the person who generously donated Safeway gift cards to the fellowship for distribution, could you please email Carol in the office and tell her how much they are for? We need this information for accounting purposes. Our special candlelight Christmas Eve service, entitled The Audacity of Life, will welcome all ages this Wednesday, December 24th at 5 p.m. A reminder that Kristen, Nathan, and Carol will not be in the office from December 25th through January 1st. They will be back in the office January 2nd. Okay, get with me on this one. It's a little confusing for all of us, I'm sure. In January, the staff and lay leaders will be experimenting with some new ways of communicating within our congregation. As we reflect on what's working and make some tweaks, there will be a pause in our normal weekly e-news. Rather than the full newsletter, an abbreviated list of upcoming events will come out during the first 3 weeks of the year. And you might get something like that in your email rather than the very newsy thing. If you have announcements to get out, please still put them in the form and you might not be totally happy with the way they come out, but we're in a moment of transition, and we've talked about the chaos of transition, so there we are. The Reno Posse wants to thank all of you with warm appreciation for all the shopping, cooking, baking, donations of outreach, and monetary help you give to the posse in order for them to succeed in their mission to help our friends. Those friends appreciate our Wednesday meals and treats more than you could realize. Thank you for your love and care. That's from the posse. Now, two things will happen as the service ends. First, today's service will flow immediately into a beautiful meditative service of song and stillness known as Tazé. If you would like to continue your morning of contemplation after the benediction, just stay where you are, seated here in the great room for this 30-minute service. If you are not remaining for the Tazé service, please leave the great room in silence so we can continue the contemplative energy of this solstice celebration. And for some of you, if you remain outside in the gathering room, please remember to use your indoor voices, and so you don't disturb the continuing service in this room. Choir member Sarah will be singing a gentle song marking the transition between the services. And second, if you aren't participating in the Tazé, you are invited to Emerson Library, which is just kitty corner up there from this great room, to talk to the board. It's a great chance to thank the board for all of their hard work this year. The end of the announcements.
As the Earth tilted its furthest from the sun, last night we experienced the longest night of the year. And although now the days will technically be getting longer, you are invited to revel in the mystery and wisdom of darkness, to give spaciousness to rest, the kind of rest that is rejuvenating. Do not rush towards the light with to-do lists in one hand and social media threads in the other. Collectively, we need the time for wisdom to percolate. We need more of the love and beauty and depth of relationship that can only emerge if we make space for it. And if we trust that it is as important as the rush to achieve and produce. The last part of our collective chalice building is, of course, the candle, which represents the spark of possibility that may emerge from our intentional time in the darkness. In a moment, we will sing together as you come forward to collect a tea light. When you receive your candle, I invite you to add it to your chalice, but we will intentionally not light it. When you take this home, let the sight of the unlit candle remind you to take the time for the wisdom of darkness, to revel in the awe-inspiring reality of our existence on this slowly tilting planet, of our relationship with the sun, and of the wisdom of the turning. When you feel ready, you may choose to light your chalice at home. And when you do, may it bring new light to the possibilities emerging in each of our lives. May the knowledge that others in this room and online will also be sharing in this collective ritual remind you that you are not alone. As we sing our closing hymn, I invite you up to one of our 3 stations one last time. And as you do so, as you sing, as you listen to the voices of others, may you listen for your own still, small voice waiting to emerge from the wisdom of the darkness. Please come forward. Go in confidence, friends, that the darkness holds great wisdom and that the light too shall come. May it be so.
Test, test, test. One, two, one, two. When you're ready. Children sleeping, snow is softly falling. Dreams are calling, like bells in the distance. We were dreamers not so long ago. But one by one